Hi, everyone. This is Kim O'Neill of KimO'NeillCoaching.com, and I help spiritually curious professionals who are feeling unfulfilled to cultivate the courage, confidence, and clarity so that they can shine their authentic light and move forward in ways that are authentic to them. And that looks like everything from preparing for job interviews to podcast interviews to simply feeling greater inner peace, alignment, and self-confidence in your everyday life, at work or at home, because this is your life and our world benefits from you embodying who you authentically are. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how to release the fear of being on camera and putting yourself out there. And when I say release the fear of being on camera, that can also simply be how to release the fear of simply putting yourself out there in any way at all. So maybe it's simply standing up in front of a meeting at work. Maybe you host a podcast and it's a traditional podcast where it's audio only. Anything at all where you are putting yourself out there in a bigger way than you may have in the past. And so this is a relatively short video, but I have many things I want to share with you to support you in moving forward in the ways that you put yourself out there. So, and for those that don't know, I've been hosting a podcast since 2015. And, this has also been a very personal journey for me. So let's see, it's 2021. It's been 6 years since I started that journey. So I have a lot to offer and share with you in this realm. And even prior to that, I had been doing performance things of various kinds ever since I was a kid. And so it was such an interesting thing that I discovered about myself, that when I was finally starting my podcast, and at first it was an audio only podcast, and then close to a couple years into it, I started making it more of a video podcast live show. And it was just so interesting to discover for myself that there were new ways that I could be more comfortable and confident in putting myself out there. So this is really for anybody who's on that journey. You're looking to, you want to stretch yourself and you're finding it challenging, but you have to put yourself out there. Maybe, and maybe you're not someone with a performance background. That's okay. There are many coaches who realize, oh, you know what? It feels like it's going to be right for me to put myself out there on camera, on social media, on YouTube, whatever it may be, to help further spread your message. Not all coaches do that. You don't have to do that. But for many, that does resonate with them. And that is a learning edge, a growth edge to move into. So this video is for you. So let's get into what some of those tips are. So how to release the fear of being on camera and putting yourself out there. Number one, release perfectionism, because it's not about you being perfect. So that's going to bring up a lot of different things. There's a lot to unpack within that alone. But I'm going to simply start with that. Release your perfectionism. See how that is showing up for you. Where are you stopping yourself? Where are you slowing yourself down? Where are you getting extra anxious or extra maybe judgmental about yourself, whatever it may be, and start to work through and release some of those things. That could be a whole video in itself. And in fact, I might already have one and I just don't recall at this moment. But so number one, release that perfectionism, because it's really about, what are you here to share? What is the message that you're spreading? That's really the focus. And so the more that you can actually spend your energy on that, then you actually are being the messenger for that message. And people are going to be able to hear more of what it is that you have to say, versus kind of getting lost in the energy that you have going on with you if you are somehow, in the energy of perfectionism and wondering about how things are looking or sounding as you're working to put your message out there. Is that making sense? In fact, I know it is. For the person who's experiencing this, I know that's making sense. So that's number one. Number two, get clear on why you're doing what you're doing. You've probably already done that. And if you keep getting caught up in a cycle of perfectionism or fear, then go back to your why or, rediscover your why. Bring it back to the forefront of your mind so that you can marinate in that energy and allow that to be more of the dominant energy, the dominant focus of what you're doing. Because remember, other people are not as concerned about, whatever it is that you're concerned about, right? So whatever the fears are, oh my goodness, what are people thinking? How am I looking? Whatever it might be, other people don't care about that stuff as much unless you do. And when you do, then it shows up and people can tap into that, or they just they can feel something's off. And that takes away from what you're here to do, right? The message that you're here to share. So get clear on why you're doing what you're doing so that you can be of service. Okay, number 3, align with the truth of who you are and love who you are. That's a big one that goes deep, I know. And I like to think that that's actually what also takes, the coaching work that I do with my clients to the next level. Because to me, there's nothing that is surface level about, say, preparing for a job interview or preparing for a podcast interview or simply tapping into a deeper sense of confidence for yourself for everyday life. It's all about who are you and aligning with that, getting clear on that, and absolutely making sure that you are loving that person. Because when you can be in that space, then you are going to be more grounded. It's going to take the energy from up here down into here. And you get to be more of a clear channel, a clear messenger for what it is that you want to share. So align with the truth of who you are. It's also that authentic space, aligning with who you are, that is going to resonate more clearly, more potently with the people that you are here to be a messenger for. So that's a really key piece. It's not just about you, it's not about you being someone else. It's never about you being someone else. It's about you being you and making sure that you feel good in that space. You feel good with who you are. You are an amazing being. So you really want to be able to own that first. Okay. So that was number 3. Number 4, accept. Okay. Let me say number 4 first. Accept others for who they show you that they are. The more you love yourself, the easier this is to do. And why do I say this? Well, because oftentimes when you're in the space of releasing the fear of being on camera or just simply putting yourself out there in any way, this can bring up fears or concerns of being judged by other people, which is also linked to, ways that you might be judging yourself. The more you can accept others for how they show up in whatever capacity, maybe you've already experienced them judging you or not. Maybe you have the fear of them judging you, or maybe there are just certain things about other people that, maybe you think that they're perfect and oh goodness, what are they going to think of you? Keep in mind, they're just another person. They're just another person in the world, just like you. So the more that you can start to see that humanity in them, or the more that you can simply go, you know what? If that person has judged me in the past or been harsh or critical towards me in the past, in what ways are they being harsh or critical towards themselves? Right? We don't know what everyone else is dealing with. So if you can start to just accept that and see that for what it is, to the degree that you have awareness of whatever is going on potentially with them, this allows you, and again, the more you love yourself, it's easier to be able to accept others for who they show you that they are. This allows you to be able to release resistance. Release resistance surrounding you showing up on camera, and also helps you in not taking things so personally. If you do receive additional negative reactions from other people, whatever it may be. All that negativity that you receive as a result of you putting yourself out there It's just simply another opportunity for you to get even more grounded and embodied in who you are. And the more that you are in that space, you become more bulletproof. You become more solid in any of that negativity, whatever form it may show up in, affects you less and less and less. Because you know who you are, you know what you're here to do, you know why you're doing it. So you don't want to let others prevent you from being who you are. You don't want to allow that to be an excuse for you to prevent you from being who you are. So, okay, then what was that? That was step 4. Step 5, identify what helps you feel your best on camera. Does it help you to make sure that you've eaten first? Does it help you to make sure that you have water handy? Does it help you to make sure that you dress a certain way, or, put makeup on, dress yourself up, that kind of thing? I've experimented with all different things over the years to really see what fits and feels best for me, to find my sweet spot. And now I know what I like best, and I'm also comfortable when I'm not in that space too. But I know what helps me to prepare myself for success in terms of what works best for me. So you want to look at those same things for you. And you want to make sure that if there are things such as, yes, putting makeup on, doing your hair, doing certain things like that, that you don't slip into a space of perfectionism, because it's not about being perfect. It's simply about you honing in on what supports you in being your best self, feeling most comfortable, setting yourself up for success. And, pay attention to your background, things like that. Those things matter, and those things are helpful. So, okay. Step number 6, practice. Practice, practice, practice. This is where you start to get into a rhythm of knowing what works, what doesn't, feeling good about it, getting into flow, being okay with mishaps, mistakes. You absolutely want to practice. It's not just keeping it all up in here. You've got to practice it out here too. And you can practice by yourself. You can practice with a friend, someone you trust, before you ever put yourself in front of other people. Number 7, I think we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Reward yourself with incentives for after you have practiced. Whether you practiced alone or you just said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and launch myself out in front of other people, give yourself some incentives. How are you going to reward yourself afterwards? Whatever that may be. Maybe it's you treat yourself to something, you go, maybe you go shopping for something. Maybe you watch your favorite show. Maybe you eat a treat, whatever it may be at all. Maybe you read your book. Reward yourself. Maybe you simply take time to go, oh my goodness, I did it, and feel that. And actually would absolutely recommend that one, regardless of any other incentive or reward you may give yourself. Last but not least is, it doesn't have to be so hard. Enlist help. You can hire a coach, and that is what I'm here for. So if you enjoyed this video and this information, then I would love for you to give it a thumbs up, comment below, or share the video out, and reach out to me if you'd like additional help. You can do so by going to KimO'NeillCoaching.com, book a free one-on-one coffee chat consultation call, and I'd love to connect with you, hear more about what's going on with you. I have a variety of services to work with you at different price points as well. And I hope to see you soon. Have an amazing day. I'll see you again soon. Bye.